Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome. Okay,
God,
that was horrible.
that was the worst thing. Well, good morning for me, good afternoon for you.
That's
Welcome
right.
to One
One
Nerd
nerd,
and One
one
Not.
not.
I'm so happy to be here. Unlike last episode, I'm actually awake. This is the super duper dope podcast where the nerd and the not nerd, we talk about everything from the latest tea to trends to the things that we love, food, nerd stuff, pop culture. And we try to cover all of our bases. And so we thank you guys for joining us. Hit that subscribe button, share with your friends, share with your enemies. We're just trying to get exposed in a legal way.
Ooh,
Um,
clutching my
you,
pearls.
yeah, clutching your
Exposed.
pearls. Isn't that
Exposed.
is that what people do when they're like, "Oh my God, there's a black guy over there. I don't want him to rob me," or is that like,
That's the southern way. It
like
could be
I
both
don't
ways.
both
It could
ways.
be
Oh,
both ways.
okay,
it's, a,
okay,
it's a double entendre.
I love that. Well, I'll keep that in mind. I won't be so flattered when you
So,
know what. First of all, I have this thing at Target. I don't call Target Target. I call it white girl Wilmas because and so whenever like yo I'm going to Target, like I don't call it Target. Be like, hey, I'm gonna go to white girl Wilmas. Y'all want anything? Because here's my thing with every time I go there, one, I'm always like the only black. Usually not the only black person there, but usually the only black male there. And two,
but you also live in a white state.
well, wait a minute. Oh,
Wait a
aesthetically,
minute.
my gosh,
Hold up.
yeah. We do have a lot of white people, but did you know my hometown of Anchorage, Alaska is I think the fourth most racially diverse city in North America.
The
Really? And
hell?
I graduated from the second most racially diverse high school in the entire country. And I was right here in Anchorage. And a lot of that is attributed to the fact that we do have an indigenous Alaskan population. You're not going to really see that anywhere else, but we're also a military town. People come in, people come out. So we do have a lot
That's
of
true.
Asian, Polynesian. We have a lot of Hispanic, a lot of black, a lot of mixed, right? A lot of mixed kids here. So it just adds to the diversity quick. But there is a lot of white people. Um, and every
With
time
all
I go
that
to
being
Target,
said, yes,
all
you are
that
right.
being
There's a lot of
said,
white people.
look, it's not a joke. You still got to be careful here. And every time I go to Target,
Are they nicer there?
the white people or the people in
The
general.
white people. The white people. Not
Um,
excluding white people. I'm not saying white people are not nice. I'm just saying
well,
over here in Florida, there could be a lot of, race, or in the South, there could be a lot of racism and stuff like that.
oh, for
So,
sure. Yeah, that's very true. I remember
so
when I was dating my ex-wife before we got married when we were dating. She's from Texas,
mhm.
right? And so when we get to Texas, like we
Ooh,
would get like looks. And I'm like,
yeah.
bro, it's 2014. Why are you all looking at me like crazy? And my dad's from South Carolina and my brother's from Georgia. So like
Uh-huh.
their
Yep.
aspects of racism are radically different from mine. Now, Anchorage, where my city where I live, is very progressive and very liberal, but Alaska, the state, is a red state. So you
Mm,
see a lot of,
mm.
Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. You know what I mean? There's a lot of both.
Mm.
You see a
I don't
lot
want to
of
get into the topic because I will err. It's
look,
not
look,
the
I'm
same
trying, I'm
thing.
holding
Just
back right
because
now.
just because we're saying Black Lives Matter, we're not talking about cops. We're talking about Black Lives Matter. Why do you have
Right.
to bring up? It's just. But
And this is
anyway,
the only thing I will say about this. The only because boy, this is a whole other episode. The
yeah,
only thing I'm gonna say
we
about
try to
this
keep
is
it light here. At least we try to keep it
I'm
light.
saying, yeah,
What is it? Dinner talk, just like very light. We're
dinner
cutting the
talk.
steak.
Just not
Just
not
cutting the
Thanksgiving
steak.
with right, not Thanksgiving with
Nope.
your drunk uncle.
You're
We're
like,
we're trying to keep it
yeah,
tense,
yeah, yeah.
but
Can you
just like
pass
you
the
said,
hors d'oeuvres?
right. But just like you said, like the only thing I don't like about like Blue Lives Matter is that it's a response.
It
If it was
is.
just like a really cute tagline, like the 90s, like
Right.
got milk, what would Jesus do?
Right. Right.
All lives
Right.
matter. Oh, that's cute. That makes sense. But
Right.
when someone says, hey, Black Lives Matter, and then it's a correction. Oh, actually, no. Actually, blue lives matter. Because you never seen like a car or a laptop or a water bottle that had both Black Lives Matter sticker and Blue Lives Matter sticker, right? It's very
Right.
divisive. It creates
Right.
this us versus them narrative. Another topic for another time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back,
Yeah. Yeah.
back to the white people. So they're very nice here for the most part, and this is where Wilma comes in. So at Target, I have certain fits. I don't really dress typically how a lot of people here dress. It's usually fashion over function. Here, I try to merge the two, so I usually get complimented on my clothes when I go out. But at Target,
See, I have my
nice
water
old
flask this time.
oh, oh, that's nice. I like that. I
Because you
drank all
had
of mine.
yours last time.
Yeah.
And you were
That's
like, Ohio.
oh, oh, yeah.
Shading the hell out of me, which
I'm
you were right.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for you to get your revenge. I'm like, I gotta be careful what I say because she's gonna be like, yeah, I don't know what you're gonna say.
White girl Target.
What girl? But every time I go to Target, there's an old white lady who Wilmas are like Karens, but Wilmas mean well, right? They're not super offensive. You know what I'm saying? They're like on our side, but they're still a little weird. So they touch me. They'll just be like, "Oh my God, I love your jacket." Like, "Oh, that's a nice little." And I'm like, thank you, Miss Personal Space. Now, mind you, touch is my love language. This is something I would generally
Yeah, but not
really
from a
enjoy
stranger.
from an older stranger. It just feels like entitlement. Like, no, you can't touch me. No, you can't touch my daughter's beautiful hair. Like, it's frustrating when you ask. It's triply frustrating when you just go for it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But this happens almost every time I go to Target, and Target specifically. So it's like, I know you didn't mean nothing by it. I don't call you a Karen. You're a Wilma. So that's why I
They
call
just
Target
have
Wilma.
different marketing. Like Wilmas have different marketing. Is that
Different
what it is?
marketing. And honestly, probably different intentions too. It's just their
Different.
execution is very
Just not
unsexy.
there.
It
We're
ain't
gonna have
there.
to call the executives. We're gonna have to ring it in here. We're gonna have to educate you a little bit, okay?
Yeah. They're the ones that come to you and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm an ally," and then be and then ask your
Don't
opinion
touch my
on
curls because anytime I have my curls, they're like, "Oh my god, so pretty!" And do not touch my hair.
if
Nonetheless,
people.
especially if I got a wig, I will shame you and be like, "It's a wig," and they'll be like,
You will not.
"Oh yeah, I would, I would."
You would.
That's actually happened to me in a job. It was really, really, and I think it's because I'm Hispanic, which is
Hmm.
also kind of racist for you to be like, only black people wear wigs type of thing, which also I don't
That
even
a
get
thing?
into my I don't even get into like my specific race or whatever because they're gonna be like, Afro Latina, what's that? And then they ask 10,000 questions. I don't want to go there.
It's
So
it's crazy that people are still really confused about that. I mean, some of the most fantastic like I was gonna say it's like movie stars, but honestly just like celebrities, period, are Afro Latina or Afro Latino. Miles Morales, the Black Spider-Man, he's half Puerto Rican. It's really important to like know these things for other people because honestly there is no such thing as a dumb question in my opinion. And so if you're really curious about, first of all, it's none of your business, but if you really like want to know, if you're like close
mhm,
and you just really don't know, I think there's an
mhm.
appropriate way and appropriate time to ask about those sort of things without making assumptions, because Americans, we love to categorize and we love to put
Mm,
people in these boxes. And I think that's
mhm,
just like that inherent need to belong somewhere and belong. And when you have power to categorize other people, then you don't ever feel like you're going to be excluded. And so I think
mhm.
that we need to really check ourselves as humans on that, but especially white people. Like,
Yeah, and it was a white woman that was like, so we would use a phone system where you could see video. When you call them, you
mm,
could see video.
yeah.
When she interviewed, I think I had this hair, it was like brown, and then I had little headbands. And then when I
Mhm.
got there in the office, I wore my natural curls because it's crazy to feel like I have to wear a wig in order to look professional instead of using my natural curls. Especially when I used to be in the profession of working in law and stuff like that. It's a whole different ball game. It's very not diverse at all. So I have to fit in a certain mold. Um,
Isn't there a
but
law
anyways,
against that now? To discriminate against someone based
yeah.
off their
Oh
natural
no,
hair in
for
the workplace?
sure, for sure. There is, but there is like a dress code, like a
Yeah.
unspoken about. And I've worked with a lot of, Black and Hispanic, and we kind of sort of unite, especially in that
Hmm.
field, because we have the same frustrations, especially like if we wear our hair naturally, or like, you know what I mean? Like, you get more respect if you fit into like the natural standards of
Hmm.
like dressing a certain way and looking a certain way and having your nails and having a certain fashionable bag in order to be respected. It's the craziest things.
Right.
It's a lot. It's so stupid.
Hmm.
But that's besides the point. I wasn't trying to get that deep.
It's hard not
Anyways,
to.
yeah. So it's such a toxic field, which is the reason why I got out of it.
Mm.
So she called me, and I was going back to where I was. So I wore my natural curls.
Yeah.
My son. I wore my natural curls when I worked in the office, and then one time I wore a blonde wig, and she called me because I asked her something, and she called me. And she's like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah." So she recognized. She like was back, and she asked me about my hair, and I told her
Mhm.
I wear wig. I wear wigs sometimes. She was like, "Oh, okay." Mind you, there's two other people in the office with me, so she put me in a weird position where I have to say, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So yeah, that was my
That's
experience of yeah.
it's not a
And
good
it's
feeling.
because no, it I mean, I honestly whatever it is what it is, but also like if I was black, she wouldn't question it, but the fact that I was light and I'm Hispanic, you have to also like be careful with people and their appearances. You know what I mean? You can't
Hmm.
just be like, oh, because you wouldn't do it to anybody else. You felt comfortable because I'm lighter.
Exactly.
You think I'm closer to you, but I'm not.
Hmm. Right, right. And it's
So
that sense of connection kind of thing, and it's cool in some ways, in other ways it's terrible. Like my best
yeah.
friend, my childhood best friend, and we're still close today. He's half black. His mom is black and his dad is white, but his skin is lighter than his dad's. So it's extremely white passing, right?
Yeah.
And then my mom, who's 100% black, but her complexion is more akin to yours. She's very,
Hmm.
very, much lighter skin, whereas my dad, from South Carolina, he's black,
Yeah.
black. So
Yeah.
it's like it's yeah, you just can't. And I think that's
Mm-mm.
just the beautiful thing about black people and Hispanic people is just that there's
Yeah.
so many shades. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We understand each other a lot more than any other, like for me, especially growing up Afro Latina, um, in America,
Mhm.
not being too Hispanic, because I wasn't too Colombian or I wasn't too black. It was hard to find like where I was, you know what I mean?
Where you belong, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so which is weird because I mixed with everybody. So, but yeah.
Mhm.
Anyways, we weren't. I wasn't trying to go deep into this.
Right, we're about to
We
talk
are
about our
just,
ancestry,
my ancestors is
16
ancestering right now. It's just like
1600
ooh
years
ah,
ago.
ooh ah.
Talk about the transatlantic slave trade. Like, wait, what? We're supposed to just be talking up, but
Great, great.
can't help it, man. It just comes out.
Oh
That's
man,
funny. But look, man, we've got some topics to talk about to kind of get
yeah.
through.
Let's lighten it
And
up a little bit.
lighten it up, lighten it up.
Hey,
And
hey.
my whole thing, like, I'm a really big cinephile, which just means, man, I'm obsessed with film and the history of cinema. And I live at the movie theater. I'm a board member of the Anchorage International Film Festival.
I feel like
Um,
that name
with
could be better though, because it sounds like the other file.
the yeah, it kind of
We're not
does.
gonna say it. We're
The
not gonna say
thing
it
with
because
I don't
we
like
want to be monetized. We want to be monetized.
yeah, I don't like any file names just
Mm-mm.
because of the raw
Yeah,
association. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like I gotta let people know what that word means.
I'm
But
glad you
that's
explained it because I had no idea what the hell it
oh,
was.
see, okay, so there you go. Yeah.
I was like,
And the
where are we
first time
going
I
with
heard
this?
that word, I was like,
Yeah.
that's me. Like I'm the kid that like, loved nothing more than to go to those crusty, dusty ass video stores,
Did you guys have
Blockbuster,
dollar movie theaters?
dollar movie theaters. No, we just had Regal. To my recollection, all we ever had was like
Oh,
Regal and Cinemark, but we never had dollar. No.
yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I know in Orlando they had one where there's like a dollar movie theater,
Hmm.
and like all the movies where they're just like either old or they're not like the hottest thing, they would play it there. So you can catch
Hmm.
it like a month later once it's like out of the regular
Oh,
theaters
okay.
for a
So we
dollar.
have
But inflation was like insane with the popcorn and the drinks and all that.
because
They had to make their money somehow.
so the concessions were the same price,
Yeah.
but the tickets,
But a
okay.
little higher. A little higher.
So we have a theater out here called Totem Theater, which to my recollection is either the oldest like movie theater in Anchorage or one of the oldest ones, and it's run by Regal Cinema, so it's a big name under it. But they have kind of like gone through a multitude of reconstructions, especially since on that same strip of road, right down the street, there's now an IMAX theater, right? And so either this old theater was going to close or they were going to restructure how they promote themselves. And so for a long time, they were kind of like that. For reduced prices, they would just play like older movies and stuff like that. So I'd go there and rewatch stuff I enjoyed from my childhood, and
Nice.
for like $5. But then yeah, the popcorn was like $200 a bucket. Like,
Yeah.
okay, what I'm
Yep.
saying? I don't even know how they're still around, but they are. But my daughter, who is 8 years old, she watched her first Indiana Jones film recently.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
we watched the third one from 1989. What was it? The Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade with Sean Connery. And on Thanksgiving morning, while I was cooking
Nice.
dinner before she decided to help me. And especially being like a board member with the film festival, my mind is just like film, 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 like all the time. So, you know,
Nice. That's awesome.
my my favorite film of all time is Ghostbusters. And I feel like that's something people know about me before they actually ever know me, because I always have like the paraphernalia, or like my cover photo on Facebook will just be the Ghostbusters, for you know what I'm saying? But since the third grade, it's been my favorite movie of all time, and it still is. So that means something to me. But for everyone else, it could be
I could
something,
just imagine
you
being like,
know,
"Hi, my name is Patricia." You're like, "I like Ghostbusters."
that's basically me. And then I just like run away. It's like, there's only one thing you need to know about me. It's not my name. Am I single? Am I a dad? No. Where do you work? I like Ghostbusters, and then just like dip.
Right.
It's that important. But Patty, what's your favorite movie? I want to know what movie means that much to you.
Are we talking about like cartoon or like
It could be a
Disney or
cartoon. There's,
okay,
as
well,
far as I'm concerned, it's all in one big clump. If it's a
okay.
film, it's
Well,
eligible.
Disney, my number one is Lion King. I had the
Okay,
biggest crush on Simba. I know it sounds
that's
weird.
disgusting.
I know. And it says a lot about me because my second is Beauty and the Beast, and I had a crush on the Beast. I don't know. There's a
That's
pattern here. I don't
problematic.
know what it is. I don't know what
All
it
right,
is.
all right. I'm gonna leave it alone.
And
Look, man, get,
then
get your fur on. I'm not.
get your fur on. And yeah, so something besides Disney,
Yeah,
300 is one of my favorite.
300. That's a solid film. Oh, I just
So
watched that
good.
the other day, and I was like, bro, this still holds
So
up.
good. So
Yeah,
good.
it's just a bunch
And
of
hot men. I mean, like
muscly men just
fighting hot men.
muscling and minning and dying. They all died.
And
They're
I
like, you
love
know
that.
what? You love that they died.
Yeah.
I
Hot
liked.
men
I mean,
dying. Great.
hot men dying, and their wives are just at home, just waiting to, replace them. You know what I'm saying? It's time. It's time.
I need a new one.
You need a new one? Shit. Apparently Sparta is popping off. So hey, next vacation. You know what I'm saying?
So I heard they spray painted those abs on them.
100%. Most of those men, because I've seen them in other movies before and after 300, they are not ripped like that. They can get ripped like that, and that is not to
Right.
say they're not in shape, right?
Right. It just
But in this film, they
yeah.
were presented as like the
Yeah.
ultra like manly man, like fuck the Expendables, fuck the boys from Predator. Like these boys are the alpha males. And I like it worked for the film. And it didn't even it didn't even look fake, right? It didn't even look like they possibly couldn't be that strapping.
Right.
No, they actually fucking were to an extent, right? But that's a solid movie. And those men were they were attractive. Like,
yeah. No, but
that,
besides it being attractive or whatever the case may be, it kind of reminds me in the sense of like the storyline, like Wakanda, like the fighting and the like, like
epic.
Not exactly the same, but it's just the fight scenes are just incredible, and it's just like you want to get in there. You're just like it's like like if a movie makes you feel a certain emotion, it did its job, because that's what movies are supposed to do. They're supposed to make you feel something. So the sense of fighting for something and whatever it is that you believe in is something that's, I don't know, motivational.
So 300 makes you feel something.
Yeah, all sorts of things.
Hey, do what you gotta do.
I'm gonna do Megan Thee Stallion. Just random. Oh my God, have you heard her new song?
No.
Megan, it's powerful. Like she was talking about, being depressed and just everything that she went through with the case and all of that, which I'm sure can take a toll on anybody. Yeah. So
isn't
made
that
a song.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Is that kind of off brand for her? Because I listen to a lot of her stuff, but I know I don't listen to all of it, right? So is this song a single? Because I feel like her singles are not personal, like because she does make her money marking herself off as a certain kind of woman who doesn't deal with certain kind of issues. And so I think it's interesting for her to come out with a single where she's like, no, I bleed red just like the rest of you. I experience trauma. I get tired.
I think she said that in a line. She's like, I bleed just like the rest. I think she said that. But she did make a song before that talking about her depression. So she does show that glimpse of her. She makes good little bangers, and she is a good rap artist. Like she does, but she also knows what sells. So,
of course, she's definitely a cog in the corporate machine.
If I was her, I'm gonna do what sells. Like,
if you enjoy it, right? If you enjoy it, go out and do it. Because I know there's too many people out there, men and women, that just do what the bongo. But see, I started stripping when I heard that. It was like at 7 a.m. I was like, yeah, like I was getting, anyway.
She said,
I don't want to talk about
Cardi B said, this is tight like a nun. Girl, no, it's not. It's not tight.
She said, don't lie.
I love her though. She's another Libra sister. Love her. She's a Libra sister.
Huh? I'm an Aries. So
what does that mean?
Well, that means I'm better than you. Duh. No, I don't.
I don't think so, but whatever.
You don't think so? Okay. Let's see. We don't talk about this later. No, I don't know what that means. One of the things
Black Jesus with your little crown right there.
Black Jesus.
Earlier we were saying before we filmed, I saw Justin and his head was perfectly aligned with the circle in the back right there. So I called him. I told him he looked like Black Jesus. That's why I said
this looks demonic. Yeah, I don't like this. This red, the blood of my enemies. Like no, man, nah. It's just.
I try to be sweet.
White bread, Steve Rogers. Don't worry, folks. Good old Cap. Star Spangled Justice. Um, nah, man, but all of that,
Oh,
yeah, that's really important. But okay, so Megan Thee Stallion's coming out with some real bangers. I really like that. Yeah, I'm a big
okay.
hip hop head. I mean, people of both of our cultures are the people that started that. My mom was, not. Oh, I mean, yeah, she was kind of witness to. I mean, she's from Jamaica, Queens, and she left New York before hip hop really started. But I've always been fascinated with the culture. I think ever since I was like 9 and 10, those were really developmental years for me. That's when I like fell in love with like anime. So I became like a huge hip hop
Nice.
head and a huge nerd all in the same year. Um, and I really, really enjoyed that about myself because now I can pass that on to my daughter who is
Yeah.
finding her own path to, oh, this is the music I like. There's the Japanese artist called Anamanaguchi who has been around for a really long time. When Scott Pilgrim was like a comic in the 2000s, and then in I think 2011 the movie came out. And then in that same year, later that year, the video game based off the movie Scott Pilgrim came out, and Anamanaguchi did the soundtrack to the Scott Pilgrim video game. Now, my daughter was born in 2015, and now it's 2023. And a few months ago, she came to me telling me how dope Anamanaguchi was. And I was like, wait, how do you know about Anamanaguchi? And so we had this conversation. I've been listening to Anamanaguchi since before you were born. We had like one of those like intergenerational like connections. And I thought that was so sweet. And so it's so fun how like film and music does that, it really
Yeah.
connects us, in unprecedented ways. So that's really dope. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
What's
me
my
and my son, we connect over music too. Like I used to be, no, I'm still an R&B head and hip hop, but
Mhm.
mainly R&B. Like R&B, I
Okay.
can be in. I don't have to be sad in order to listen. I just love R&B so much.
Mhm.
Um, but I really do listen to everything, like rock, like
Oh yeah,
some country.
I
Like I
enjoy
am just,
everything.
if it sounds good, if it slaps, I like it.
If it sounds good, I can appreciate it, and everything has a different sound. And you will
Right.
never find better storytellers than country artists and rap artists.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't deny that. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
let's call it
It's
what it is.
crazy.
They got it from rhythm and blues country. So
100%. And you have to know the history of that because I'm seeing this resurgence of black artists in country, and like some people are like get those Negroes out of here, and it's like no, we
no,
started
no,
this,
no.
bro.
They
We
exactly.
started this. So, and the same thing with rock and roll. Like when Lizzo
Yep.
said black people invented rock and roll, she wasn't just talking bullshit. Like know your
No.
history, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we was there.
Listen,
Yeah.
they added a little bit, but like to they always want to add that they're the ones that invented it. So I'm not. It's
That's
like
American history right there. It's who has the most power can
they don't
change the
teach
narrative.
they don't teach the right history in school.
We're still celebrating Columbus Day, and they're
There's a
calling
lot
it
about
Columbus Day. Like, dog.
there's there's a lot about history and schools,
Yeah,
um capitalism when it comes to schools. They're teaching our children to be consumers is what they're teaching. They're
worker
not
bees and
teaching
consumers. Yeah,
they're not teaching them to be anything
bosses.
functional as it used to be.
They're not teaching
But yeah,
entrepreneurship.
I watch all of those like documentaries and stuff like that, and the history of how school became like it's crazy once you do your like research and your due diligence of learning why things are set up the way they are.
Hmm.
So it gets more frustrating when the more
It
you know,
is.
sometimes it's like
Yeah, when you unplug from the matrix and you open your eyes, especially as parents, right?
we're on a
It's
floating rock and we're paying bills. We're on a floating rock.
right.
We This shouldn't be the way that it is right now. Like
No,
it's insane that people are just claiming and they're like, okay, you have to pay me this much. Like we're just
that's right.
playing like Sims, but just in real life.
That's
Like
literally
we're
all.
really
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
And the sad part is that it could be better. It
Yes.
could be, right?
Yeah.
But the people in power aren't really doing anything. And so when the people aren't in power speak up, we get shut down. We get relegated to, TikTok videos that are like conspiracy theory interesting and stuff like that. But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
These people are actually really telling the truth. And the truth is dangerous. It's
Hmm.
so dangerous. That's why they don't
Weren't they?
teach this in
Are they
schools.
still trying to bring down TikTok?
I don't know. I haven't heard much on that, but someone probably is
Right.
because they know there's so
Yeah.
much truth out there. You know what I
Uh
mean?
huh.
And you have to be discerning and wise. Not everyone who talks is a leader. Not everyone who talks is knowledgeable or is even being
Yeah.
honest. But the people who are, they're out there, and we've heard them.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So we got
And
to
even
be
that to the things that we consume here in America. There's so many products that are able to be on our shelves and they're banned in other countries.
right.
It has a and no one cares. That's the thing that's crazy. It's like no one cares.
Mhm.
And one of the topics of no one cares, I have it here. So
Okay.
we're gonna get into that. But so every week we're gonna talk about so Justin is gonna talk about a nerdy topic every week. He's gonna talk something foodie,
Mm.
and I will bring the tea because I am known as tea time with your tia on
Mm.
TikTok. So I will bring you the tea and some light stuff. Hopefully, let's not get too dark into it. But
Mhm.
so Justin, start off first on your topic.
Okay. So the movie that was my topic.
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
Nope, that was nerdy topic. I needed to get that out of my system because these are things I literally think about every day on my own time or engage in some way. And with film, particularly with Ghostbusters, the new film Frozen Empire is coming out next year. Um, and Ghostbusters means so much to me for a variety of reasons. I don't think we even have enough time for me to go that deep into it on this episode. But one of the primary reasons is because I related so much in different ways to each of the four Ghostbusters, in particular
Hmm.
Winston Zeddemore, who, as far as actual being on screen and live action, was one of my first heroes because it's like as a black man who saved the world with these other three super nerdy, technologically just like mind-blowingly advanced, super smart, high IQ
Yeah.
dorks who were
Yeah.
scientists at Columbia University and literally created all of this ghost catching technology. He just kind of came on board. The novel kind of goes back into his backstory. He was in the service. He got out of the service. He came back to New York, needed a job. And now that the Ghostbusters had set up shop, he basically kind of just like applied and became one of them and became friends with them. And I thought, oh, I love that. It really resonated with me. And especially how humor is such a wonderful way. Like a lot of people use humor as a shield to cover up their cowardice. But the Ghostbusters, in particular, Peter Venkman, played by Bill Murray, uses humor as a means to be a little more courageous. He'll just make fun of a situation and then be able to step in front of it because he can find things to make him laugh, you know? And so at the
Hmm.
end, when the Ghostbusters decide, I don't know if you've seen the film, but at the end, they decide to basically allow themselves to be killed to save the world. And it's just like this really weird kind of like super dramatic moment in this sci-fi comedy that you weren't expecting, where all the
Hmm.
Ghostbusters decide if we do this one thing, we're probably all going to die. The chances of us living are kind of slim. Let's do it, you know, and they go and do
Hmm.
it. And till the very end, Peter's cracking jokes. And it's just so, I just like love that so much because I want the last thing I say on my deathbed to be a joke. I want to make someone laugh. I want my
Oh, for
funeral
sure.
to be popping. I don't want it to
Yeah.
be, you know,
I always say
like
that.
yeah, 100%.
For sure.
And so with the Ghostbusters, it's just they just kind of remind me of that. When I the third Ghostbuster, Egon Spangler, played by Harold Ramis, he died in 2014. I cried like it was no one's business. It was the saddest
Oh,
thing to
yeah, I
me.
could see that. Yeah.
And
Especially if you love a film. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, that was hard for me. And then when the 2016 Ghostbusters came out, starring Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig came out, there was like a 2 second like blink and you miss it tribute to him as an actor
Mhm.
um, in Ghostbusters Afterlife, which is the actual sequel to Ghostbusters 2. The whole movie was about his character, and the film was dedicated to him as an actor. I saw the movie in theaters 4 times. and I cried 3 of those times.
Oh
I
my
was just
God.
like,
Yeah.
I was a mess, right? And so now we have the like Frozen Empire coming out, and I'm super stoked for that because I like seeing like the old Ghostbusters and the new generation kind of step up, and that it's just so hot because when I first fell in love with the franchise, I didn't think it was as big as it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one of those things like McDonald's where you see the logo, you know what it is, even if you've never eaten there. You're like, oh, that's McDonald's, like Ghostbusters. Oh, that's Ghostbusters. Have you seen the movie? No, but I know what it is. Like it's that much of a global phenomenon. And I
Mhm.
love like being a part of it. And for Halloween, I was a Ghostbuster this
Oh my
year.
God. You know what would be so freaking cool? Speaking of
Uh,
Ghostbusters,
uh,
I always wanted to go ghost hunting. Do you imagine both of us ghost hunting? How much laughter we would, but also I'm shitting my pants. I'm trying not to curse, sorry, because I know it's hard to bleep it out with. But do you know how fun? I always make a joke because these YouTubers get so much views ghost hunting, doing all of that. I think it'd be hilarious that I go with my
Mhm.
big toe and step on the ground, be like, okay, I'm done. And then
I know
do
that's
you
right.
imagine us on a ghost like the what's it called that where they talk the ghost box or
The
whatever
Ghost
they're like
Box.
talking to yeah they're like talking, you know how much crap would be like, so what are you doing, girl? Like
Right. It would just be hot tea, It's like, girl, you won't believe what happened last week, Like, there's
can you
we
imagine?
should just make our own box. I'm like, how does that work? I don't even know how
I don't
that
know.
works. That's
Well,
crazy.
I don't know. They say that okay. So my understanding is that there's channels that are going right.
Yeah.
So they use the energy in between the channels. I'm not sure. I love all that ghost hunting stuff.
Mhm.
But the one that really changed like my mind on things is wow, what can I think of? Sam and Kobe. There we go. Sam and
Okay.
Kobe. Do you know them?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this year, did you watch this year's like Halloween? Because they always do something for Halloween. So they
Oh
went,
no, I didn't watch that this year.
oh
No.
my God, there was so much tea drama going on because with every community has their own stuff. So, anyways, they went back to the Conjuring house, right?
Oh
And
wow.
they went and met this couple. And
Yeah.
apparently, when these couples like touch and connect, all of a sudden it's like a circuit for ghosts to walk up. So you hear the actual like footsteps coming up, and they have their
Mhm.
system where they have like an alphabet. So they'll say A, B, C, and then if the ghost is trying to spell something out, they'll tap or whatever, I don't know, tap on whatever it is, their ghost realm, and
Wow.
they spell out things. So
Okay.
I thought it was real because they took them to different places. It took them like on like a gravel. They did like a whole bunch of different experiments, and you could still hear it. And it was
Mhm.
such a beautiful message. At the end of it all, the message was about love, which I think we as humans have lost that message. Everything is about love. Like our objective is to learn love,
Yeah.
whether it's to ourselves, whether it's with a partner, whether it's our children, whatever the case may be, we forget, what we're here for is to have the human
Mhm.
experience, is to learn, grow. But because
Yeah.
of like the capitalism and stress on bills, because Lord knows I'm stressing,
Mhm.
we lose sight of those things. We lose sight of what we're supposed to be doing here on earth. But anyways, it was great. I don't know how I got here. We were talking about ghost hunting, that's why. But it'd be a great idea for you and I to ghost hunt. I think that'd be hilarious.
Where would we go?
It would have to be like a really haunted location, obviously.
Okay.
What would be the first one?
I know they have a big one in Vegas.
Which what is it called?
I I don't remember.
Oh my God! Imagine us in the Ghostbuster outfits.
Well, that's exactly what my first thought was. Like, we gotta dress up. We gotta get the packs, bro. We're going
Can
in.
Can my jumpsuit be pink?
You can have a pink jumpsuit. I love jumpsuits in like period, man. In fact, it's really funny because the jumpsuit that I got for the because I mean I dressed up. I bought the patches, ironed them on, I got the backpack, like an actual replica, and I got
That'd
a
be
jumpsuit,
hilarious.
but I got the jumpsuit from Wilmas and they didn't have it in men, so I got a woman's jumpsuit. But
That's
you
the
know,
same thing.
no, it feels great. It works. It fits perfectly. So no one
Yeah.
can tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? So, but
It's
we have to
it's a
dress to make it.
jumpsuit. It's a
Yeah,
jumpsuit. But that would be hilarious. Do
that
you
would be crazy,
imagine?
right?
Yeah,
No,
I'd be like,
look, next
imagine
2024 is
the
going down.
the
Ghostbusters
ghost
are here.
pulls my wig off and you just see the the braids and I'm like I do the Blair Witch Project where I'm just like and then you see the booger coming down. You know what I'm talking about? Do you remember that one scene
I
in the
do.
Blair Witch?
Yeah, and Scary Movie
Guys,
tore that apart. I was like, yo, that's hilarious. But I was
I
like,
can't find
get your
Justin, guys. I can't find
right. I was like, man. Now Blair Witch was dope back in the day, bro.
it
I
was.
haven't seen it in forever, so I don't know if it still
It
holds
was.
up. Horror movies,
Mm,
I joke and say horror movies saved my life. Didn't really, it's not that dramatic, but like when
I love it.
I love horror movies, and when I was divorced in 2020. So in 2021, everything got official. I went through a pretty big depression about that. And when I came
Understandable.
to and got back on my feet, I started going to therapy. One thing that really helped alleviate a lot of that, drowning feeling, that gravity was getting into horror movies. And not even like
Hmm.
ultraviolet ones, just like, like my favorite horror movie is Saw. And Saw is more like a crime thriller with some horror elements. And it's not even like the torture porn that the sequels, it eventually becomes that with two, three, four, five. But the first one is like, it almost feels more like
Saw first, the first one is
the
great. I
first
feel
one.
hands down is the best
Yeah.
one because I
Yeah.
like psychological thrillers.
That's
Those are my
exactly what
favorite.
it is. Seven, Zodiac,
It
Saw, even the
yeah,
new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, like takes from those movies instead of like other superhero like movies, like spectacles and stuff like that. So I love movies like that. And then Alien is my other one. And Alien is
oh,
like it's crazy because all the horror doesn't even come from the alien. The alien literally has maybe 5 or 10 minutes of screen time the entire film. It's just the horror and the dread and the quiet and the dark.
suspensefulness,
It's the
suspense.
suspense, right? But yeah, but gore for the sake of gore, like I can
No.
handle that,
Well,
but I don't like it. I don't prefer that.
see, there's different type of fanatics when it comes to horror films and stuff. There's the gore community.
Yeah,
There's the psycho, which I'm part of the like psycho thrillers, stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And there's gruesome. So gruesome, I don't like too much. I just like, oh, that's just nasty. For me, I like psycho thrillers because it could potentially happen. Like
It
it's
could be
something,
real.
like anything that tests your psyche, I think is
Yeah.
the ultimate source of like horror. Even with like Freddy. Like, is it Freddy
Mhm.
or the night that goes into your
Nightmare on
dreams?
Elm
Is it?
Street. Yeah, yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
funny.
So, I mean, that kind of messes with your head. I remember watching that as a kid and not wanting to go to sleep.
Exactly. And then imagine actually going to sleep and having a nightmare about him because you watched the movie. You're like, he's real, like, what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy. Like, you
Yeah.
can't do that with like Michael Myers and stuff like it's fake, but I mean it still gives you that element of scare. And don't get me wrong, I just
Yeah.
think for me, psycho thrillers, that's what's it. That's
Psycho
what's it right
thrillers
there.
are so good. They are so
Yeah.
good. They're so well done. They keep you on the edge of your seat. They scare you just enough, but they also keep you invested. You know what I mean? And I like those
Hmm.
movies because they always have the best twists and turns too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I love seeing detectives
Yeah.
work, trying to solve them puzzles and stuff like that. It's crazy. But yeah, no, horror movies have a really special place in my life.
Yeah.
And I just love and enjoy them now.
Do you
Um,
find yourself, since you've watched so much films, and I feel like I do this too, and I'm sure you do this, I think this is normal, where you've
and
watched so much movies that you try to predict? Of what's going to happen. You already know.
my brain automatically goes there. So I have
Yeah.
to actively try to not do that because I could like, oh, I can see it coming. Oh, he did it.
Uh-huh.
He did it. When I
Uh-huh.
went to go see Scream, the fifth Scream, like last year, whenever it came out, and
Yeah.
in the open, I was like, I know who did it, and it was the person who did it. And I was like, come
Yeah.
on, man, this is too predictable. So I like have
Yeah.
to force myself to like not think about that so that I
Yeah.
can actually have an enjoyable movie theater experience. Because yeah, it's too hard. I can't enjoy
Right.
Law and Order no more. Like they did it. You
Oh,
know,
lot. Dun, 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 dun,
don't
dun.
don't.
Yeah, that shit.
In order,
Dun,
baby.
dun, dun, dun.
And you had the little bass like, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
I was like, when did this become a bop? I didn't know
I
all
don't
that.
know, but it's like.
Yeah. And then
Mm.
back then when like Criminal Intent first came out, they tried to give it some
Oh
funk that like
God. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
Bones.
okay.
Do you remember Bones?
I remember
Bones.
Bones.
Bones
Bones.
was good. That's
I
another
love
one.
Bones. Bones is
Yeah.
so solid. That was
Yeah.
a really fun show. What was
I
another
feel
one?
like not a lot of people gave Bones credit. I feel
I mean,
like
it didn't last as long as like NCIS and Law and Order and all that, but as long as it was on TV and syndication, bro, Bones was solid. Bones was really good.
yeah,
And it was
yeah,
like
it was
more wholesome. It wasn't like super violent or super
no.
grotesque. Like SVU went to some dark places. Criminal
Uh,
Minds went to some dark places. Um,
what
you
was
know what I'm
the
saying?
show? There was another show, and I cannot remember it. Well, I'll remember it later, but it was in those categories. But
Okay.
Law and Order, it got cheesy. Like, or when you rewatch some of it, it's like that's kind of cheesy. Like,
Mhm.
but it's so crazy that back then it's like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. I can't believe.
Yeah,
And then you see it now, you're like, really? That
right.
wasn't that good. That wasn't
Some
that
of it doesn't hold up.
good.
Yeah, some of it just
Yeah,
doesn't hold up, but
it
some of it
doesn't age
does.
well. Yeah, some of
Yeah.
it does. Yeah, for
Some of
sure.
it, some of it does, yeah. Yeah. But moving along, let's get
Yeah.
into the other topic because I could talk about this for 2 more days straight without even breathing or taking a water break. So my
For sure.
personal channel on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram is Justin Eats, because I'm a food reviewer. People know people know me. Well, they do here. And so that's like kind of like my big thing. And I'm a huge foodie. Uh, the origins of which there's another topic for another time. But on TikTok exclusively on my Justin Eats channel, every Sunday I have a what I call Sunday snacks, where I will try something that looks dumb or stupid or
I
gross
love
or
it.
unique. You watch those? She
Yeah,
watches
that's
them.
awesome.
You know what
I
I'm
like those.
saying?
No
So I
one
want
does it. Someone has to do God's work. Okay.
look, I'm just out here, I've been christened. And so I want to show you because I haven't even tried these yet, what I'm going to eat for later
Oh,
for the Sunday
yeah,
snack.
yeah.
So for everyone, it's going to be released today. So by the time you get this video, you're
I'm
not going to
already
know.
seeing it.
You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? But this is what it is. It's cotton candy popcorn. I'm scared. I don't want to eat this. Look at Patty right now. Yeah, this looks so stupid. It's the marketing is beautiful. I'm a graphic designer, so when I look at this, I'm like, this
Yeah.
is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. The colors, the fonts, the stroke. But be happy. This doesn't make me happy. This makes me scared.
Yeah.
And I've
That's like
had
diabetes
lemonade.
in a bag.
Look, time to die. I guess I've had
Yeah.
lemonade popcorn. I've had
I mean, it's
watermelon
a fun way.
popcorn.
It's a fun way to die.
If I'm gonna
Mhm.
go, this only costs
Yeah.
$3. So
Wow. What a cheap death.
what a cheap way to, hey, look, I'm trying to be frugal out here in these streets.
You
It's
know,
different
send some over
outside, folks.
here.
It's different outside. So I'm gonna eat that
Oh,
for my
I'm
Sunday snack.
excited. So if you
So
guys
my
want to see the results and what he thinks about that, go to his page on IG and on TikTok. It's Justin Eats, right?
Justin Eats, yeah, and the Sunday snacks are exclusively on TikTok. I don't do that on
That's
Instagram.
what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I got some interesting
Let's get
topics.
into your
I got
stuff.
some real piping hot juicy topics that have been roaming around this week and also last week. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the comedian Matt Rife.
Matt, pretty boy. He's the dude. He just got a Netflix special out. He just had a kind of an actors roundtable type of thing
He
on
did just
online
recently.
just
Yes, with
recently,
the
right?
actors. Yeah.
With Marvin
With
Wayans and
Wayne's. Yep.
yeah, and
Tom
the
Segura. Yep.
yes,
And
yes,
all of
yes,
those.
yes.
Yep.
And she was dope.
Yep.
Yeah, let's get into it. What's going on with Maddie? Is he in trouble or
All
something?
right. Okay, so Matt Rife is a comedian that has um been doing comedy since he was a young teen.
Hmm.
He started off as a teenager going to the clubs and just trying to do any open mics. Just recently, I believe in this past year, he blew up on TikTok
Right.
after he was showing some of his crowd work. That started building up because on TikTok, you can get, not for nothing, and I've seen it time and time again. If you are good looking and you have somewhat of a talent, I'm not saying this is him. I'm just
Mm.
saying, you blow up
You
because
can,
you
for
are good
sure.
looking. If you do not notice these hot people, they just do the bare minimum dancing and they blow up. Like
Right.
it's insane. So the fact that he is witty and he was doing crowd work and he knew how to go back and forth. Also, I'm not sure if you know this or you remember, but he was on Wild 'N Out.
I don't
He
remember him
did.
being on Wall and Out.
He
Well, as
sure
a guest host or
was.
someone that Nick employed to
No,
be
as
on.
employed,
I
sir.
missed that entire.
Yeah, he even tried to hit on Zendaya.
Mm-mm,
He tried to get at her.
mm-mm.
But he even knew that was dumb. Like the fact that he even tried, anyways. But he is used to being around comedians and just riffing, and
Right.
especially being around Black comedians, they're gonna
Mhm.
riff on
Yeah,
you. So you better learn to riff
you got to
back,
come with it. Right.
because if not, they're not gonna keep any just white boy there. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the
So,
thing.
anyways,
If you're on Wild and Out and you look like Matt Rife, you earn that spot. You know what I'm saying?
but he didn't look like that though. He didn't look like that on Wild 'N Out.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I think he fixed his teeth or something, and he also grew into himself. Who knows? But
For sure.
anyways, there was people trying to cancel him for his new Netflix special called Natural Selection.
Yeah.
He did this joke about DV in the first
Mhm.
the first joke that he comes out with. I
Mhm.
haven't seen the full special, but I'm just giving you the tea on how
Okay.
his supposedly cancellation went down.
Mhm.
So the joke was it wasn't even that big of a horrible joke or whatever, but the woke feminists
Mhm.
um and the woke people or whatever want to
Mhm.
speak for other people without knowing if it's true or not. Anyways, they got offended because the joke was something along the lines that they were in a restaurant and then the waiter had a black eye, and then the waiter left and the friend was talking. He was like, wow, I feel bad for her. And he was like, I don't feel bad for her. Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't think he said that. He said something along the lines of the friend said, she should probably work in the back. He goes, well, I don't think if she worked in the back as being a cook, she would get that black eye. Something along those lines. Don't quote me
Mhm.
on it. Something like that, blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
It
we
was
got to
just,
watch the special and see it for
it was,
ourselves.
it
But
was, it was it was not that big of a deal. They try to cancel him and try to say he was pandering to the male audience because all he has is females. And that's
mm,
when the male feminists, which I honestly, they're they're not. Let's be honest here. They're just trying to get
mhm,
on the bandwagon of a
mhm.
person that's more popular and trying to get on a topic and just trying to blow up from that. That's what they're trying to do.
Right.
Just being media or self
Yeah.
media, just to jump on the bandwagon. Women, blah blah. Don't speak for women. First of all, you're not a woman yourself, so. Uh,
Mm. Let's
and
start there.
yeah, and then they
Yeah.
try to talk about women, like about domestic violence. Being a person that I have been in a relationship that has had DV, it wasn't that bad. Honestly, it
Mhm.
it was not that big of a deal. And if you are a true comedy fan, You think that that's the worst joke that you have heard? I have heard worse jokes than that, okay?
Right.
It is insane that you're trying to cancel him for just like a mediocre joke. And a lot of comedians come out and they do the strongest joke that's more offensive to feel out the audience, to see where they're
Yeah.
at.
That's exactly what they're doing. Yeah.
And that's exactly what he said. He's like, okay, I'm just making sure, how you guys are feeling. And that's something that's normal. So the
Yes.
fans that he gained from TikTok were just females that were just rude. Oh, they're like, oh my God, I love him.
Oh, he's hot. Yeah. Yeah.
He's hot. They're not true comedy fans. So
Right.
they were trying to cancel him. And his response to everything, he posted on his IG, he says, if you were offended by any joke on my special, here's a link to my apology. And do you know where that link led to?
I don't.
Special need helmets.
Wow. Yo, that's clowning. But I will say this. I will say this because some people would probably take extreme offense to that. That's funny.
That's funny.
Funny.
You act like no one has a sense of humor. Like,
Right.
come on. Like,
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Come on. It's funny,
That's funny.
That's what comedy is. It's like, if you can't make fun of, I'm not saying that he wasn't making fun of special needs people. He wasn't. That wasn't his intention or at all. But the fact that if you can riff off of everything and everyone, like, you're fine. It's not, comedy is subjective. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. I don't understand what this hate watching, I don't understand people that hate watch. If you don't like it, just like with some videos that I make on IG or on TikTok or whatever, you get like these nasty comments. And I'm like, you didn't have to leave a comment. You don't have to watch my material. Like, you can move on. And also, I am clearly fucking joking. Oh, sorry. I am clearly joking. I'm trying not to curse. To make it easier. I'm clearly joking. And if you're taking offense to this and everyone else is laughing, read the room, Becky, because you sure aren't. And just get out of here. And I will clown you, okay?
Yeah.
I will clown you.
Now, mind you, not every joke is done well or funny
at all,
or even tasteful. But you're absolutely right. Like, you have to be able to have a sense of humor about these sort of things, and not just as an excuse to like make fun of other people either. Like, we have got to get off this bandwagon where we are united by things that we don't like, or things that, that person said that one thing. Let's define his entire character based off of this one tweet, based off of this one joke in that one special in his whole career. I think that's insane, because stand-up comedians in particular, are some of the, like, I feel like they're a rare breed now. They're some of the last honest people in like corporate American entertainment. It's not necessarily American really, but like, they're honest. They want to cancel Matt. They tried to cancel Chappelle. And not that
oh my God, that was so dumb.
It was so stupid. And not that his jokes weren't offensive, but that's the whole point of his comedy. Ever since he started, he's been making fun of literally everyone. It doesn't matter your race, your sex, your orientation, your religion.
Going to Dave Chappelle, now that you brought it up, because I love Dave Chappelle, he's one of the GOATs. But that comment about like the LGBT, if you actually heard the joke, he was praising the trans community. He wasn't bringing them down. So, and here's the thing, it's the people that are outraged that like to be outraged for things. That's a community.
That's a whole community. Let's just stand for, let's just fight for something regardless of what it is. Yeah, because they want to be a part of something.
Yeah, you're not going to speak for the whole community.
Yeah, no way.
Like, you can't, like the people of like DV, you can't speak for me.
You don't know me.
You don't know me. You can't speak for the LGBT either. Listen, there's people in the LGBT community that don't like other people, and that's human nature. There's some people I don't like. There's like everyone has their own perspective, their own thing. But here's my thing: if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Don't
Because
watch it.
what's gonna come on your feed more if you keep on
More
hate
that
watching,
stuff.
if you keep
Exactly.
on.
But here's another thing too. If you don't like it, don't watch it. But if you don't watch it, don't comment on it. Because
Thank you.
80% of all these haters were like, yeah, I actually haven't seen it, but I heard from my roommate's barber that he said this, so I hate him. No,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a music review, like an album review. If you haven't listened to the album,
Yeah.
go watch it, see what you think, and then get back to me. Or don't watch it and don't say anything and move on with your life. But people get so caught up in wanting to be a part of something that they start hating on actors they've never interacted with. They start hating on movies they've never watched. They start hating on stand-up shows that they've never even seen. And then on top of that, yes, they do want to cancel these people, which I don't think people understand how awful I think cancellations actually are. It's because at the beginning, it's like you did something horrible, you covered it up, and it's time for you to take accountability for that and accept the consequences, whatever they are. That okay, the origins of that are good, but now it's become something entirely different where it's less like basic old civilians go through a power trip, realize, oh, my voice does matter. We can literally change this person's entire life overnight.
Right.
So let's just shut them down because they said a tweet that I didn't like. Or 10 years, like James Gunn, director James Gunn, who directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies a few years ago, he got canceled because 10 years prior to that cancellation, he said some pretty insensitive tweets that were like kind of ew. As a response, Disney fired him. And he didn't get rehired until like a year or two later. Here's the problem with this. You can't
kind of with the Johnny Depp situation.
And the Johnny Depp situation saying
he got fired from Pirate.
He got it's insane. Because you cannot base an entire person's career or life or character based off something they did or said 10 years ago, especially if they haven't shown that they're still that person, right?
Or
it was 10 years ago.
Because allegations of Johnny Depp,
right?
They wouldn't even shown
with the Johnny
proof.
Depp thing, it's like, and it's kind of the same thing with the Jonathan Majors thing. He's like on the brink his whole career over something he may not have done. Now, if he did it, all right. It's time to,
let's pause. Let's pause and
exactly
see what's going on.
Yeah.
Diddy,
it's like
Diddy did it. I'm sorry, but Diddy did it. Diddy did it.
That said, Diddy did it. Yo, I'm just getting hip to all this P father stuff, and I'm like, dog, what is for me? This came right out of the blue. He just released his new album.
I mean, allegedly.
That big A word.
These are just
allegedly. You know what I'm saying?
This is all for entertainment. Allegedly. Don't sue me, please. I ain't got no money anyways. I can't give you the $30 whatever million you gave.
Look, don't come after me.
But rumors have been spreading for a very long time when it comes to him. So I'm happy that I didn't get into the industry because I actually wanted to be a singer. Not that I had vocal pipes, I'm very mediocre woman. I wanted to be like J-Lo, up in there.
Okay.
Just like
you said J-Lo is mediocre. Don't let her watch this. Look,
listen,
I'm gonna get out the way.
No, hold on. I love J-Lo. J-Lo. But you can't sing, honey. You can entertain and you can act. Okay? I'm saying how it is. You know what I'm saying? I love her. That doesn't take away that I love her. But let's be honest.
That used to be my wife. You know that? Me and J-Lo used to be married.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Way back in the day. No, she was like my. Yeah. We had a really, we could have made it all the way, and things just.
Diddy stole her from you.
Diddy, I will always hate Sean for that.
Take that.
Take that.
Sorry.
Not that New York bop. Oh my God!
No, oh my God! You know what makes it worse? The fact that he dressed up like the Joker last year, and he was
Bro, I don't care what no one says. That shit was
chaotic.
hard. I loved it. I loved it. If
No, I
Diddy goes to
know, but
jail,
like if you saw like the footage of him stopping the car, like he played into that character a little
really,
too well. It was like crazy. It was scary. And just hearing some of the allegations that he made
mm-hmm.
Cassie do, it's insane. It's insane. And I knew something wasn't right, but then also it's like that's what those type of relationships do. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone's scared of talking about him. And then one of my favorite artists, which is Usher, now tying back into the whole situation of him having the boot camp when he was like younger and sleeping in his bed for a year and
Mm-hmm.
supposedly allegedly getting STDs.
Mm-hmm.
Take that. It's just crazy like how this industry is just so dark. And I
Mm-hmm.
think he's such a bad boy, pun intended,
I see what you did
that
there.
even the big executives are like, we're just so tired of him. Mind you, they're bad too, but they're so tired of his crap that I believe that they're pushing him out of the whatever club it is. The Illuminati has expired club. Okay,
Uh,
I'm gonna need your Amazon
oh,
Prime
the
Illuminati card.
membership's
Oh,
over.
the membership is
Dang,
over.
can't get that renewed.
Um, no, because he's getting left and right. He's getting like
Is he?
uh, uh not fired, but they're parting ways. A lot of companies are parting ways with him.
Okay, because
So
of these allegations. Here's the
he's
thing.
stepping
Diddy has
down.
got so much money that unless he just straight up goes to prison like R. Kelly, he's going to be fine for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
You
and he
know, he
will.
could lose every deal and he'll still be okay.
Yeah,
Um,
he's still
so
investing money in them. So, or he's gonna
right.
have a payout.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's solid. But here's another thing. If these allegations are true, right? What I want to see Diddy,
It's settled though. We can't. We will never know. See,
but
what Cassie did was smart. She not sued him, but she sued the company, his
she sued the
company.
company. Yeah, and he showed me that, and I read that article. I was like, "Girl, get that bag. Come on now, eat him alive, not just tap him on the wrist." She said fatality on you. But here's what I was gonna say. I want Diddy to come clean. R. Kelly, for instance, he had so much time and so
Mm-hmm.
much money and so many resources to get help. He
Mm-hmm.
could have got help. And to the very last second, he didn't. He didn't ask for help. He didn't cry out for help. He got exactly what he wanted. He did exactly what he wanted to do. And now he's in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And a talented brother like that, that is heartbreaking. He did the same thing for decades. Like that's a child's mentality. And he refused to break out of it, even though he had all the money and all the time in the world to get the help that he needed, right? A lot of people don't go to therapy because they don't have the time or the money. R. Kelly had both and did nothing with it. Did he? If he did all these things, he has an
He's not going
opportunity.
to. He's always had his way, and people like that, people, which I know we nowadays love to throw around the word narcissist, but
Mhm.
I mean, in some way, if you are a part of the entertainment system, you have to have some sort of narcissism, I guess, in a way. Um,
Mhm.
but he he will never get that help. He's done it for so long, mind you. When they started Bad Boy Record, or was it Bad Boy Record, or up? I don't remember what record. I think it was Bad Boy Record, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
He started that company with other people, and they
Right.
all started dying
Mm.
once they were about to release a book. Kim Porter was the last one that was going to release a book. And I mean, I don't know if this is true or not. I think Kim Porter gave Cassie some sort of information or something or leverage, and she helped her out but I believe, and this is all alleged, this is just what I think, that he has.
Mhm.
It's so interesting that there is a pattern.
Mm.
And there was word, or I don't know if this was true or not, that the police did mention this, but Puffy supposedly, allegedly, again, I'm gonna have to say allegedly 10,000 times, was tied into Tupac's death.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that so many times, but
But they said something this year. I don't know. I have to look into it, but that's another topic. But yeah, so speaking of horrible and hate, do you have anything else on that topic?
no.
Matt Rife of comedy. Okay,
Yeah.
so speaking of haters, I am a B fan. Okay, I am a part of the Beyhive. Okay,
All right.
and this week premiered Renaissance by
Renaissance.
Beyonce. Everybody was talking about Beyonce's look in that platinum wig.
Hmm.
I just cannot believe the amount of people, and I may be biased because I am,
Hmm.
that were talking about Beyonce's skin color. Okay. They're like, oh, did she lighten her skin? Did she blah, blah, blah? Listen, she has a platinum blonde wig. She has silver on. With the lights, she's gonna flush out. She's gonna look lighter.
Hmm.
Mind you, you gotta remember, back in the day, she was like putting more tan on and stuff. Like you could see, like just knowing Beyonce, especially being a Beehive person, I know a lot about Beyonce. So she would
Hmm.
purposely darken her skin to be, accepted, or, or just whatever the case may be. But
Hmm.
everyone was talking about Beyonce, and then they were comparing her to Kim Kardashian, that she
Hmm.
looks like Kim Kardashian. I'm like, Kim Kardashian did not invent the blonde, like the platinum
Not at
blonde
all.
wig. Like, where
Not
do
at
you
all.
think a lot of these styles come from? Black women, okay? They are they are the leaders when it comes to style, okay? Like
Period.
let's just be
Period.
honest.
That's not that's not cap whatsoever. Like, do your history. Look at what Black women have done in every industry, in the rap industry, in the R&B industry, in the drag culture industry. And
Yep.
come on now. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So there was a lot of people just accusing her, and then they're like, "Oh my God, she looks like Beyonce," or like just saying filters or whatever the case may be. People are just, again, people, the hate community just likes to hate. It's just one thing after the other. She had a fantastic concert, which I was so privileged. That was my first concert, like real concert, not
Mm,
going to a club.
right.
Um, so it was hot. I'm not gonna lie, I needed that fan but it was worth it. It was worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It was an amazing concert, and I kept trying to tell myself, because I recorded like at least the not the first half, but like a quarter of the first, and then I just told myself I need to be present. So
Mm,
I made sure to put down my phone, and I was like, I need to be present. Just be present. I had to remind myself. You know how addicting it is to be on your phone, like this, and I'm
all
just like,
the time. Even in your when you're in the middle of watching something incredible that warrants you turning your phone off, you still be like,
like
girl, you never guess where
watching
I'm at.
watching a movie like on the TV and having
Mm,
to be on my phone and scroll. I'm not even watching it.
exactly.
It's just wild to me. So I had to
Yeah.
remind myself, be present, be present, be. So
Yeah.
yeah. So anyways, that was my other topic. And last but not least, I mean, we have to bring this topic on. At least we have to. This is like a must topic, especially for nerds like us.
Mm.
Aliens.
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 Where are we
I
going with this?
love, I love how it was confirmed, like what earlier this year, that we
Yeah.
have aliens, and no one gave
No one cared
three about it.
because they're like, yeah, we got aliens, but I got to pay rent, so I'm going to work. Like literally, no one cared. That was
That
it was strange, but it was also very unsurprising. Most of us have believed in aliens for so long with no proof,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I think they started to realize that, you know what, my secret exclusive knowledge of this one crazy thing isn't changing my life for the better. Things are getting
It's
worse. I have things to worry about, like my
insane.
kids and the housing market and school shootings. Oh, aliens are here. All right, well, I'm gonna clock in. Let's talk about it at lunch. I think people
I
just like
cannot
stop
think about
caring.
it enough. I have questions. I have follow-up
If you
questions.
could ask the government one question, what would be that one question?
Uh, Geez, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Can I have the passcode
To what?
to every fucking thing? Because that
To
way
the
I don't have to
vault?
ask anymore. That
I
way I
want
don't
the
have to
keys
ask
to the
any other
kingdom.
question.
Just give me it
Wait,
all.
and then I'm not talking about the Wi-Fi password, okay? I'm talking about to your system. Okay,
Right.
can I get the main general password to most of the things so I could not ask
Give me
any
the
questions? I could just
codes.
look it up myself, okay?
Right.
Yeah, and the fact that there's been so many whistleblowers, especially
Hmm.
like about like aliens and stuff like that. The fact that no one just cared just shows you where we are in society because
Oh
how do you
yeah.
not have follow-up questions? Oh, we got aliens. Okay, cool. I gotta pick up my son. Can you wrap this up?
Right.
I gotta go. I
Yeah.
gotta go. Like, what the what?
Right. And not that that other stuff isn't important, but you know what I think it is too? I think most people were just thinking, oh, they're just either one, this is completely fake, or two, whether it's the truth or fake, why release it at this time? What are they trying to distract us from? Right.
Yeah,
I think a lot of
that's
people
always the
were
thing.
thinking about
But
that
here's
when it comes to the government.
well, that's the thing. That's the smart tactic of theirs is the fact that they make the so-called conspiracy theories people crazy, which some of them are. I'm not gonna lie. Some of
Yeah.
them, it does not help. It does not add, but
Mm,
it's kind of it's they're genius on the way that they handle things. I mean, you can't take
mhm,
that away from them. The fact that they just throw stuff in our face and we're so
mhm.
stupid and we just take it and we don't
No,
care.
we
That
don't
just
care.
shows you
We're very
that.
sheep-ish. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We're like, oh, the wolves are here. Okay. We just take it. You know, if they want to kill us, we just let them kill us. If they want
yeah,
to teach us something, oh, we'll believe it. And it's
yeah.
like,
That's exactly what it is.
that's not good.
Exactly what it is. No.
No.
And I don't know what we could do as a society because at the end of the day, we can have a little group that stands for it, and then there's always going to be that one
Mm,
Karen that's just not going to fold. So
yeah.
I don't think there's gonna be anything until a meteor hit us.
Hope it comes
I can't
soon.
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that our response was the same.
That is so sad. I swear to
That's
God,
so
I
sad.
used to be an optimist once upon a time.
Me too.
I saw a shooting star the other day, and it was the most beautiful thing.
Oh,
It was so
nice.
gorgeous, like in a flash. Just like, I was like, I know. I was like, I felt like I was like 3 years old, you know, just like staring at the stars like I used to. It was really
Yeah.
beautiful. So maybe it wouldn't be great if an asteroid just came and struck us, but but
Yeah.
honestly, like we, yeah, it's getting exhausting, right?
Yep.
And I don't know how to make things better, but
No.
I want to learn because I can't give my daughter what I don't have.
Yeah.
And I want to see her change the world, not become a product of it.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
starts with me.
I
You
wanna
know what
I
I'm saying?
wanna have Mr. Beast money to start with changing the world. That'd be great.
Mr.
Can you
Beast, look,
imagine?
man.
Can you imagine us making videos just like Mr. Beast and just giving away? I would definitely help out the single mom community because
Hmm.
it's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard. Or single parents, I should say that because I'm just saying single mom me for
right.
the fact that I'm living it and even the fact that it's hard to get benefits. If you make a certain,
Hmm.
amount or whatever the
Amounts,
case may be,
right.
it's still not enough. It's still not enough. Like you have to be dirt poor in order to
Yeah.
get any benefits.
And it's insane. But if you're like dirt poor, then you don't even have access to get those resources. You may not have a vehicle. Your
Exactly.
phone bill might be so backed up that it's off now. You may not have
Yeah.
transportation to get to the, the public assistance office. Like they don't
Yep.
think about these sorts of things. And I'm a single father, you're a single mom, and a lot of our struggles are the same, but a lot of them are really exclusive to single moms that I can't relate with
That's
or
true.
try to
Another
compare.
aspect.
And so, like, yeah, there definitely needs to be, an appreciation specifically for single moms who are going through it, because the reality is that I love being a single dad. I love it and I hate it all at the same time, because
Yeah.
my daughter
And that's
deserves a
normal.
consistent, and that's normal. And my daughter deserves a consistent mother figure in her life. And you'll never hear me talk crap about her biological mom.
And I
But
respect that, as you shouldn't. You shouldn't,
right.
yeah.
No, my mouth has no place for that. But at the same time, I do get disheartened and sad when it's like I'm the mom and the dad,
Yep.
and she doesn't see that. All she sees is I have a dad, but how come my mom's not hanging out with us for the holidays? Why can't I go see
Mhm.
her? Why can't I spend more than a couple of months with her during the summer? And so,
Yeah.
it's just different. But my baby girl Diana, I didn't break my body to create her, right? I didn't have to carry her for X amount of months, and so
Mhm.
there just are some things that we need to celebrate everybody without creating a culture of erasure, because then
Right.
when we do that, we start to ignore the specific problems that single mothers have that single fathers don't have, right? So
Mhm.
I don't really like it when like single dads hop on moms on single moms. Like, well, I'm a single mom because blah. What the fuck, you're not? No, you're not. Like that bothers
It's
me, you
hard
know?
not to curse.
Yeah, it's hard.
Right?
And I'm a Christian. I grew up in a Christian household for
Yeah.
almost 30 years. I was
Oh,
just the
so
most
then
tight-lipped,
you're a true effing Christian then.
a true effing Christian. Babe, no, I didn't start swearing until like 2 years ago, right? I mean, R-rated movies, hip hop, going to public school, everyone all around me always cursed. I was always the one that didn't. And then I don't know, I just got so angry and frustrated after like my divorce that it became a part of like just my everyday vernacular. And so now I have to try not to, because I don't want to curse my daughter in front of my daughter. And then my daughter takes that to school and then gets in trouble because of what daddy says at home. So I have to be mindful of how we talk, the books that we
Mhm.
read, the content we consume, things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A great book. Have you ever read this one, The Alchemist?
I haven't, no.
It's a great book. It's about mm, it depends on the interpretation you take, but it could be very spiritual or religious or just talking about God. This is a great book. I would recommend. You would like this. This is the
Yeah.
type of book that I've heard. I read this, but you can read this over and over again, and depending on whatever you're going through, you'll always have like a new appreciation for the book or a new outlook or aspect. But The Alchemist is a really, really good book that I recommend.
Okay.
Um, I mean, if you want to read something, or I like audiobooks, but I should say I heard it. Because
All right.
me with my ADHD, um, my
Yeah.
brain goes like, "Ooh."
When you're trying to,
um,
yeah.
or I'll read like a page at a time or whatever the case, or until however my brain allows me to.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I've been getting really like into reading and stuff like that, expanding
Mhm.
my mind. There's another book, but it's upstairs. It's called Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, I have that one. That's a good one.
Uh-huh.
That is an
And
excellent.
so I have 17 books that I have to read that's going to help like with success and just the way you think. Think and Grow Rich, just with the first chapter is mind blowing. And just
Mhm.
the fact that Einstein could have been diagnosed with ADHD as well. Like,
Mhm.
like
Right.
it's insane. And like these big moguls have read this book and have used techniques from this book.
Yeah.
Just shows your success rate, when it comes to that. So
Mhm.
there's just a
Yeah.
couple on my list that I have to read. I have to get finished because I was starting to read that and then I stopped, but I need to finish
Yeah.
doing that. But yeah, I don't know how we got into books. But anyways, yeah.
Word.
So I hope, huh?
No, I
What?
just said word. Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
check out The Alchemist. Yeah.
Look at me being Belle. I'm being just like Belle.
Reading books. That's what's wrong with America today. Women thinking, reading books, voting.
Why did I think of Gaston when you did that? Gaston.
Women
Oh
shouldn't
my
read.
god.
Women shouldn't
Women
think.
shouldn't read. Women shouldn't.
Right. Yeah. Gaston's America is literally a dystopia.
Yeah.
Can't have that. Can't have.
Gaston is the version of alpha males.
Oh, it's absolutely true in body and in mind, and that's the problem. Idiots like him are, oh my God, they're
Yeah,
laughable, bro. I can't
they
even,
are. They
yeah.
are. Anyways, I had a great time, great conversation. As always, if you guys like us, please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friend, share with the person you don't like Justin said in the beginning. Just share, okay? Help us out, okay? Give us some a little arepa money, at least for me. And what do you, huh?
I said just a
Yeah,
little bit. That's all we want.
just a little bit. I need some harina. I need some mozzarella to make my
Look,
arepas. What do you need? What's your food?
what's my food? Give me some
Your
grapes. I just want some grapes. I like
Justin,
fruit. I want grapes.
we were right here, and then you brought it down to here with
Not for much.
freaking grapes. Freaking grapes.
Ow.
I mean, actually, fruit is pretty expensive now. So yeah,
Especially
you need
fresh
some grape
fruit.
money.
Give me that grape money.
Organic.
Organic. I want it to mold in 4 days. I'ma eat it. Let's
There you
go.
go. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good one and good night and whatever you are. Bye.
Bye.